The work that we do now with our early readers impacts their future in school, but also in life. Every child on this planet can become a strong and confident reader. And the best part, it can be simple, quick, and fun to support your readers at home. We are on a mission to help every single child become a strong and confident reader. And we believe that parents play an enormous role in making that happen and making school a safe place, bringing joy to reading, and helping open up doors for your child's future. Hello there! We are talking about something today that might make me cry, so watch out for that. We are talking about how to support your soon-to-be kindergartners. And why it might make me cry is because I have my very own soon-to-be kindergartner. He is my oldest, and I can't believe he's not a baby anymore. Anyways, that's all I'm going to say about that, or I will start to get emotional. If you are a proactive parent, first of all, besties here, if you're watching this, you probably are proactive. You probably are ready to take steps now that are going to benefit your child in the future. And that's amazing. We want to help set you up for success so that your child can walk into kindergarten, whether you're homeschooling or you're sending them to school, whatever your route is, you can walk into the next step of their education and they can be so excited and prepared to crush it. Because that's what we want to do. We want our kids to crush it. Of course we do. One problem we see that a lot of parents make, they have such great intentions, but they think kindergarten today is like kindergarten 15, 20 years ago. It's really not, and I'm not here to talk about whether that's right or wrong, but today there is a lot of academics. There is a lot of learning. There's a lot of fun too. I don't want to make anyone feel like, there's so much fun too, but there is a lot of learning. Why not set our kids up for success, not only with the fun, but with the learning too? We are going to be walking through some of the essential things you can be working on now to set your kids up for the greatest year, the greatest first year of school they could ever possibly have. I am a former kindergarten teacher and a reading interventionist specialist that worked with kindergartners. And like I said, I have my own soon-to-be kindergartner. So this age is so important and so fun, and I love it so much. Anyways, 3 reasons why this is a now issue and not a tomorrow or next week or next year issue is because 1, it will be here before you know it. Trust me, this summer is going to go so fast and your kids are going to be in school. 2, every single time you practice these skills, you're building connections in their brain and setting them up for success later. And I've said that a few times already, and I'll say it probably a few times more because what we do today is going to impact their tomorrow. And why not set them on a path to success versus a path to frustration and confusion or falling behind? We don't want that. And you can prevent it now by working on some of these skills. So why not? And number 3, it's one I just have to say, it breaks my heart, but it's true. So many schools are overrun with high levels of needs right now. Teachers have such big hearts. They're so amazing. They're doing everything they can, but they are human at the end of the day. And if they have 20, 25 kids in front of them, each with different needs, it's not ideal. So as a parent, and I'm speaking to you because this is exactly the same for me, is I am the one responsible for my child's future. I am the one who needs to make sure my son is on the path to success because I know his teacher's doing everything that they can. But at the end of the day, I am mom and I am with him for the rest of his life. They are going to do everything they can with their time with him, but their time ends at the end of the school year. My time is forever. I am the one who needs to make sure that he is on the path to success. That's why I really encourage parents to be involved and engaged in their kids' learning. And that's really the only way you can know for sure they're heading in the right direction. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty here. Let's talk about what are the essential skills your kids need to be successful in kindergarten. Few things, non-literacy things that I'm just going to throw out there. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but here are some non-literacy things you can be working on. Cutting, lunch prep. That's one a lot of parents don't think of, but like have your kids practicing opening Ziploc bags. If you can somehow find cartons to open, have them practice some of these things so they can be more independent at lunch. Dressing is really important, especially if you live like where I live in Minnesota where there's snow all the time. Like they need to be able to do all these things. Math, counting and numbers, they're all really, really important. So I definitely want to recognize that those are essential. But you're here for reading. So let's talk a little bit about the literacy. There are 4 things I really want you to be thinking of. How can I help my child with these 4 things to prepare them? You don't necessarily need to have them mastered. Your child doesn't need to walk into kindergarten with these skills mastered. But the more you can do and practice and expose them to these, the more you are setting them up for, I'll say it again, success. As a kindergarten teacher, former kindergarten teacher, when kids came with some of these skills in place, I could see their future and I could see how successful they were going to be. The kids that came in not practicing these things, unaware of these things, not because their parents were bad, but they just didn't know, it was harder for me to see their future as successful. If we want to be sure, we got to give them as much practice and as exposure as we can. Here they are. Number 1, concepts of print. It seems very silly as readers that we even have to do this, but it's not intuitive. We can teach our kids concepts of print. Where's the front of the book? How do you open the book? How do you turn the pages? Where are the words? Where do we actually read? Where do our eyes start? Which direction do they go? What is punctuation? All these things that we don't spend any time thinking about as readers, but our kids are new to this. They're brand spanking new to this. Think of when you were brand spanking new to driving a car. You didn't know which pedal to push. You didn't know which of the knobs to turn. You didn't know any of that stuff. You had to learn it. It's the same with this. We have to teach them the basics, the fundamentals, before they're going to be able to stack up to the other stuff. So concepts of print is something you can be working on at home. Second one is a huge one, phonological awareness. This is understanding the spoken language, how our language works, because reading and writing is just a form of language. It's just a written, visual form of language. They need to know out loud. Can they tell you how many words are in a sentence? When we speak, we don't speak in individual words. We speak as one long string of words. They string together, not when we're reading and writing. You can work on, hey, how many words do we hear in the cat is cute? The cat is cute. Just make them aware of words. Make them aware of rhyming and syllables. Make them aware of individual sounds in words. When you say cat, say, what's the first sound you hear in cat? If they're new to this, they're definitely going to say meow, which is adorable. Adorable, right? They're definitely going to say that if they're new to this. But you want to teach them that the first sound in cat is k, k, is a sound that we hear in words, and words are made up of sounds. So all of that oral, out loud practice with words is going to help them with their reading and their writing. Next up is letters. A mistake a lot of parents make is they want to do capitals and they want to do letter names. They need capitals and letter names, but they also need lowercase, because we actually see a lot more lowercase letters than capitals. They need letter sounds. That is what we actually use when we read and write, is the sounds, not necessarily the names. And letter writing is really important too. Even if you're just working on the strokes, even if you're just working on their name. If your children could walk into kindergarten and know how to write their name, their teacher is going to thank you a million times over, because that is a huge part. And a lot of kids have to spend the whole first month of school trying to learn to write their name. If they could have that coming into kindergarten, you're going to be like rock star A+ parent. Anyways, but yes, letters, do their names, but do their sounds and their writing as well. And finally, use fancy words. Vocabulary. Number 4 is vocabulary. Use fancy words. They aren't necessarily going to be able to read and write these quite yet, but the first step of building vocabulary is just hearing the words. If there's a word you haven't heard, you're much less likely to know what it means, be able to use it out loud, be able to read it, or to be able to write it. So if we can just start using fancy words with our kids now, even if you have babies, start using fancy words, you are setting them up for, I'll say it again, future success. The work that we do now with our early readers impacts their future in school, but also in life. Literacy bleeds into every part of our life, no matter what occupation they go into, no matter what they do with their life, college, not college, high school, middle school, elementary school. Reading and writing is essential for your child's entire life. So let's set them up for success now. Let's be proactive. Do you know, I heard this on a podcast the other day, the most likely time someone is to get a security system after their home has already been broken into. Most humans are in a reactive state. They react after something happens, which, if you think about it, okay, you get a security system after your house gets broken into. Okay, wouldn't it have been nice to have that before, right? And that's what this is. You can be reactive and wait and see if my child, they might do okay on their own, so they might not need this. That's reactive, waiting for them to already struggle. Or you can be proactive and you can say, you know what? If I do easy 5 to 10 minutes now, give my kids the exposure and the practice now, so that it's more likely that they won't struggle, why not do that? Why not do that? And if you're looking for a way to make it simple, easy, fun, quick, we have our Aspire Kindergarten Head Start, so specifically for kids going into kindergarten, where we are working on all those skills. Concept of print, phonological awareness, all the letters, all the vocabulary. We're doing all of that for you in a way that you get to be involved, bond with your kids, but you don't have to do any of the planning or teaching. For real, you don't have to do any of the planning, any of the teaching. You just get to do it with your kids, be involved and learn with them and have fun with them and be 100% sure that they're going to go into kindergarten ready, excited, and they are going to crush it. If you are interested, make sure you check out the caption, head to our Instagram or email us. I'll put the information here on the screen and ask us about our Kindergarten Head Start program. It's just for the summer to give your kids that boost and that experience that they need to have the best year, the best start of school ever. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful. If it was, make sure you subscribe to our channel. We're going to have a ton more ways to keep your kids reading, learning, loving themselves, seeing themselves as a learner, and supporting you right along with them. But thank you so much for joining me, and keep reading.